Hello there, welcome to my views and news. 45-minute long speech by Ethiopian Prime Minister about the Red Sea. We have been waiting for this documentary. It wasn't a documentary, by the way. 3 days ago, Fana TV published a trailer of PM Abiy's speech about the Red Sea, and today complete video was published, 45-minute long. I think we're going to see big changes in this region. Today's PM Abiy's speech is very significant. We'll try to have a look at this speech in detail. Who did he address? Did he address Eritrea? Did he address Djibouti, Somalia? Is he going to wage a war? What are the options available for him? Is he frustrated? Did he make offers to Isaias Afwerki but offers declined? What is regional, international atmosphere in terms of start of a new war? We'll have a detailed look at PM Abiy's speech. PM Abiy today shared details of Ethiopian foreign policy about access to Red Sea. It might not be a new position, but it is going to be official position of Ethiopian government from now on. He started by talking about the importance of water for humans, and he went on. He talked about importance of water for countries, for Ethiopia. So access to water is not a luxury, it's a need, existential need for Ethiopia. That is what he said. And then he tried to prove that Ethiopia has right to access to the Red Sea. He showed pictures of Ethiopian kings. King Haile Selassie's picture he showed in the Red Sea. He showed picture of Ras Olola with a text about the Red Sea, and he referred to international law that landlocked countries, according to international law, they have right to access to sea. So he tried to prove that culturally, internationally, ethnically, Ethiopia has right to gain access to the Red Sea. And then he said that other countries are investing on ports in the Horn of Africa. That UAE built a port in Somaliland, Berbera. Turkey invested in Mogadishu. Why can't we agree on some arrangement? He offered that Ethiopia can give territory or shares in Ethiopian Airlines GERD to the country whose port it will have rights over. By the way, one important clarification which we must be clear about. When PM Abiy talks about access to Red Sea, he is not talking about access to a port. We must differentiate between access to a port, access to the Red Sea. Ethiopia already has access to a port, and that is Djibouti's port. Ethiopia in talks with Kenya to have access to Lamu port there. Ethiopia invested in Somaliland to gain access to Berbera port, though that commitment could not be honored by Ethiopia. When Ethiopia says it wants access to Red Sea, it means it wants complete rights over the route leading to the port itself and the coast. So it means that Ethiopia should have complete control over a corridor leading to the port and to the sea. Of course, Ethiopia does not have these rights when it comes to using Djibouti's ports. It does not have these rights if it starts using Kenyan ports too. Ethiopia wants this type of access to the Red Sea. Which countries border Red Sea? Sudan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Eritrea, Djibouti. Somalia is not technically Red Sea country, Somaliland as well. But Djibouti and Eritrea are two Red Sea countries. Can Ethiopia claim access to Djibouti's ports? Historically, by citing historical data? No. So it means that when Ethiopia says that it wants access to the Red Sea, it is talking about Eritrea. Without naming Eritrea today, I think for around 45 minutes he talked about Eritrea. Ethiopia today made its position very clear that Ethiopia wants access to the Red Sea through Eritrea. And this Ethiopian demand is not illegal. It is in accordance with Ethiopian history, as Eritrea was part of Ethiopia. 120 million people cannot be deprived of access to the Red Sea. First take, which when I got the entire translation from different sources and I read it, this is the first impression that I got, that today's press, this talk was about Eritrea. Next point, why is that PM Abiy today talked about the need for access to the Red Sea? Why now? Well, I did not say anything, but I personally think that within the last 6 to 7 months, or 1 year you can say, after Pretoria deal, within the last 1 year, Ethiopia tried to talk to Eritrea to gain access to a support. Maybe Isaias Afwerki promised to PM Abiy that if TPLF is finished, Ethiopia Eritrea would start a new era of economic partnership with Ethiopia having access to the Red Sea. Maybe unofficially, maybe they agreed. And PM Abiy kept on waiting. Peace deal signed. Eritrea not happy. Why? Peace deal not being implemented fully. Now Isaias Afwerki not listening to the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, PM Abiy. PM Abiy frustrated. And what he said about offering shares, that Ethiopia can offer territory or shares in its assets to the country whose ports it will use, it means such offers have been made. Such offers have been made to a neighboring country, and that neighboring country is Eritrea. Eritrea not showing any flexibility. PM Abiy frustrated. He talked about international community too. He said that international community talks about GERD, it talks about River Nile, but no one talks about Red Sea, Ethiopian need for having access to Red Sea. Discussion of this issue is a taboo in Ethiopia too. So while it's an important issue for Ethiopians. So he's frustrated basically with international response too. Maybe he tried to raise this issue on international level, but his attempts to raise the issue, they did not meet with any success. Rather, the players, international players, did not give positive response to PM Abiy's efforts to raise the issue. So he is frustrated. Now he has decided that take this issue to public, take this issue under public limelight, take it to the people, tell the people that this is the situation. We want access to the Red Sea. We are ready to give our land in return, assets to. Other side should respond. That is my take, that it happened. Maybe Sasevaki played PM Abiy. Now, next point. So what does it mean? PM Abiy is frustrated. What does he want? Is he planning to wage war on Eritrea? Now let's analyze regional international situation. Internally, Ethiopia is faced with a crisis now in Amhara region. Groups in Amhara opposing war on Eritrea. Regionally, Sudanese General Al-Burhan visited Eritrea a few weeks ago. He is standing with Eritrea. He is relying on Eritrean support for survival as country leader. Ethiopia not on good terms with Burhan. Ethiopia is not openly supporting Houthi too. Sudan shares long border with Ethiopia. So we can say Sudan is on Eritrean side, at least Sudanese military. Somalia, indebted to Eritrea. You must have heard what Hassan Sheikh said when he was in Eritrea 2 days ago. He was all praise for Isaias Afwerki, that Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean government would help Somalia regain its international status. Kenya, you saw what William Ruto did to Isaias Afwerki when he visited Kenya a few days ago. He was all praised for Isaias Afwerki, calling him a great revolutionary. Though Ruto is a democratically elected president, but he was all praised for Isaias Afwerki. Kenya on Eritrean side, Somalia on Eritrean side, Sudan as well. Yemen does not matter. Djibouti does not matter, I think. Somaliland does not matter. Regional situation, regional picture favors Eritrea, not Ethiopia. South Sudan, not very relevant, I think. Now, internal situation, Amharas, hoping to be Eritrean allies, again, does not suit PM Abiy to start a war if you analyze internal situation. Internationally, China, Russia on Eritrean side. US, can you trust US? Can PM Abiy trust US? US last year was saying that Abiy's government was committing atrocities and US was planning strict sanctions on Ethiopian government. And PM Abiy's government had to launch a no more movement abroad. And PM Abiy's government accused US of supporting TPLF. It happened in 2021, you saw that. So can US be trusted? I don't think that Ethiopian government can trust US. Arab countries divided. We cannot say that all Arab countries would support Abiy or Isaias. So regionally, internationally, internally, start of a war on Eritrea at this point of time does not suit Ethiopia. People would say, Sajid, economically too, Ethiopia cannot afford a new war. I think PM Abiy is linking Ethiopian economic progress to gaining access to the Red Sea. That if Ethiopia has no access to the Red Sea, economy cannot flourish. So it's not that due to economic crisis he won't attack Eritrea. So overall regional international situation does not favor start of a new war from Ethiopian perspective. Now, Eritrean perspective. What PM Abiy today said would lead to tensions between Ethiopia and Eritrea. No doubt about that. That he sent a very strong message to Eritrean government today that Ethiopia does not want to start a war, but it wants access to the Red Sea. It is ready to give territory, to shares in Ethiopian assets, but no matter what happens, Ethiopia wants access. And I think he said something like that, that if today we cannot get Red Sea, tomorrow next generation will do. So I think PM Abiy today took a position that he will keep this issue alive now. He has today stated Ethiopian official diplomatic state position about having access to the Red Sea. Message was directed at Eritrea, Djibouti too, but I don't think that today's message was about Djibouti. Because all the evidence he shared is not about Djibouti. People would say that maybe Ethiopia is ready to form a confederation with Eritrea. I don't agree with that. People have been saying that. By the way, Eritrean opposition accuses Isaias Afwerki that Isaias Afwerki wants to join Ethiopian confederation. PM Abiy's critics say the same too. I don't think so. If you remember a few months ago, the Mufti on Eritrean Independence Day said that Eritreans were not happy about leaving Ethiopia, and that led to a backlash. Mufti had to apologize, I think. So no compromise on Eritrean sovereignty, territorial integrity on Eritrean side. And I did a video this morning about a statement of an Eritrean ambassador, Stefanos, Eritrean ambassador to Japan. He used two terms, sovereignty, territorial integrity. So when Ethiopia talks about access to Red Sea, Eritrea sees it as a violation of its territorial integrity and sovereignty. So there is no likelihood of confederation. And obviously today's talk is a clear indication now that Ethiopia has taken a position. It wants to gain access to Red Sea through Eritrea. Eritrea is going to take a position to diplomatically or through Eritrean government-backed elements. Overall, let's hope that the two leaders sit and resolve the issue. Yes, Ethiopia needs access to the Red Sea. But if you quote 50-year-old or 100-year-old history, it won't strengthen Ethiopian case. Ethiopia needs to talk to Eritrea. Eritrea not ready to talk to Ethiopia. Why? Because it believes that Ethiopian government is not able to enforce its writ. And today is PM Abiy in power, tomorrow could be some other guy. So Eritrea not interested with informing long-term strategic partnership with Ethiopia. Ethiopia wants this type of partnership. And Eritrea maybe knew that sooner or later PM Abiy's government would reclaim access to the Red Sea. That is why it did not form any strategic partnership with Ethiopia. Coming days tense, I think. We're going to see more tensions between these two countries. But again, I would say Ethiopia is not planning a war on Eritrea. I think PM Abiy's government is going to wait for the right time. It will keep the issue alive. It will try to involve regional players, international players. It will try to talk to Eritrea. It will try to create internal unity. And at the right time, PM Abiy's government will strike a blow to Eritrea. Question is, what will be the right time? After Isaias Afwerki or when Eritrea is weak? That's open to discussion, I think. Today, PM Abiy tried to create internal unity. That Ethiopian main problem is access to the Red Sea. We are fighting internally. Let's unite, gain access to Red Sea. That will lead to prosperity for our people. This message will be countered by groups in the Amhara region. Obviously, message will be welcomed by Oromos, Tigrayans, not the groups based in the Amhara region. So, can he create the required internal unity to wage war on Eritrea? I don't think so. It can only be created if he talks to Fano fighters, groups there, and they agree on some understanding. After that, he can talk about taking on Eritrea. This is my take. Overall, not good sign for regional stability. A lot depends upon Isaias Afwerki's response. What will he do? Because now the matter is in public space. It's not secret dialogue between Ethiopia and Eritrea. PM Abiy has taken a matter which was an internal bilateral matter to public space. Let's see how Eritrea responds. Thank you for watching.